Welcome back to Satisfactory. My name is Nilaus and we are back here with our glorious nuclear power plant. It is a 3-step process and we're going to be working on the second stage today. What I've done is the previous episode is built this part. What the summary is, of course, you can watch the previous episode, but in case you forgot, we're bringing 300 uranium in here. That's one partial or one impure node, 300 ore in uranium ore. Then we supplement with the 6 materials plus some rocket fuel. To get everything else in by drones over in this area, we are converting it into, can I remember, 7.2 uranium fuel cells per minute and fuel rods, and that goes in here into 15 uranium or nuclear power plants, and those nuclear power plants are scaled up so that they are equivalent to 36 nuclear power plants. But hey, we can make do with less actual entities. So I've now prepared the next part. I've also built a same little block over here, and we built a block to work on it. So what happens now is that this part here, when it's fully operational, as it is right now, generating 90,000 megawatt of power and producing 360 nuclear waste, uranium waste. And let's just go down there. Uranium waste every minute, and we need to be able to consume that because, well, we don't want to have that. And then we're going to hear the clicking because now we're in the area. So we need to use this space to convert the uranium waste into plutonium. So let's have a look at that. We start with some waste. That's uranium waste. And we have 2 different processes. We are going to follow with the this process here. Yeah, there are 3 processes, yes. This one is irrelevant because I don't want to use my uranium, because that means I would get less power from the first step if I was allocating some of the uranium to this part. So this one is out. And among these 2, the top one is the better one, non-fissile uranium. So we're going to use the non-fissile uranium. That means we need to make it in a blender. So get that blender up and running. Just building these kind of things. And here. And that was the non-fissile uranium here. So how much uranium waste are we getting in? Yeah, it just doesn't work. And we are going to get 96 outbound. Why? Because that consumes 72. 72 times 5 is 360, and I'm producing 360, so that means 5 modules of consuming 72 will consume all of the nuclear waste. So that means we now have 96 non-fissile uranium, and we go back here to our fissile. There we go. That can then go into, it can either go into this step, which I don't want to do, or it can go into this step, which is clearly the better one. So we take this one. This is in a particle accelerator, and yeah, so let's make the particle accelerator here. That one, and that is instant plutonium cell. Great. And we're going to get a little bit faster here. So this one is going to be 12.8, which will mean that we consume 96. So 12.8 encased uranium cells. And something good cell, encased uranium, encased plutonium cells. Sorry. That can go into 2 different locations, 20 to 1 or 30 to 1. So we obviously take the 20 to 1, and we have the pressure cubes or companion cubes on the bus. So that's an assembler. There we go. That one. And let's see, you are going to make that one. Alternate plutonium fuel unit. That one. And how fast is it going to work? It is going to consume 12.8. So this is going to be 0.64. There we go. And let's see, is there anything else that's missing here? Uranium waste, we got it. Silica, we got it. Nitric acid, and sulfuric acid. Oh no, that sucks. This is made in a blender, and this is made in a refinery. So we're gonna need another blender just to make the nitric acid, which is nitrogen gas, water, and iron plates. That means iron plates have to come in as well. There. So now we just see that things just get out of hand quickly here. We thought it was just a simple build, but it is not. And that's the sulfuric acid. So let's have a look at how much sulfuric acid we need. We need 28.8 of each of those. So 28.8 there. And let's take some water. That's easy. And some sulfur. Okay, we have the sulfur. And this one is Also going to be 28.8, luckily no scaling up. And this 9.6 iron and some nitrogen gas. If we have 5 modules, this is less than 1 pipe of this, so that's not really a problem. 9.6 outbound, 48. Alright, so now we have this build. What we're going to do is we are going to make 2 modules. And that is going to be this one, this one, this one, this one as one module. And then I guess that and that as the second module. That's kind of all there is. Oh, we also need the aluminum casing. Alright, that is here. Thought there was something. Aluminum casing. How many aluminum casing do we need? 12.8. Okay, so that's easy. 12.8. Good. Right, so that is going to be the 2 modules. These 3 items and these 4 items. So let's get started on building it in a design space. And usually do it like this. There, here, 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 template factory. Alright. Now we're going to start by placing this one. It's actually a little bit annoying that I'm standing on top of this noisemaker. I can't delete it. No, I can't. I have to go in here, delete everything, and then remove this. And then go a little bit further away so we don't hear the crackling, because that's a little bit annoying to have that continuously. There we go. And let's load this blueprint, the template factory, and 6x6. We only do 6x6, and if you want to load this into a game and you don't have 6x6, that doesn't matter. You can still load it in. And right, so what we're going to do is we are going to get this one kind of... The middle one is going to be... The middle one's going to be in the middle, obviously. And then let's start from this side here. This is now middle from the left-right solution side. And there. This is middle here. Looks good. And then this is then outbound. Oh, here's a problem. I need to move this because this will be this nitric acid, but it needs to get some iron inbound. So I'm going to need to get this one pointed into here, which it can't do because that would be off center. So we're going to do this one there. And see if you can move a little bit closer. Yes, and that should be room enough for us to... Come on, yeah, works. There we go. So that is now all of the ingredients. Whew. There is, however, one gigantic problem. And that is quite a hassle to do that. Come on, let's go over and click it. This one. This is the non-fissile uranium, the middle one. There, and this one is going to be nitric acid 28.8. There we go. And I'll just set these up so we can see the problem. 28.8. The problem here is I should also put that one because now we have the right locations, so these are not going to move, I hope. Right, perfect. If we look at this, it's producing non-fissile uranium and water, 28.8 water, which is half of what we want. So each one of these is using 28.8 water, or over here 28.8 water. So the most logical thing would be like, oh yeah, you just take all of this water and put it back into one of these, and the other one just gets water in. Easy peasy. However, if I do that, then you can never get it started, because this one will rely on the first one going and this one is not going because it's waiting for that. So as easy as it was to sort of have a closed loop between two of them and the other one here, that isn't going to work unless you want to feed it in with some like hook up a pipe and then fill it up with water and then disconnect the pipe and then just let it run forever. I don't like that idea, because this is one of those things that if you download a blueprint in half a year and you want to set it up, then there's no way you can remember that. So I don't want to do those kind of things. I want to make sure that when you load a blueprint, the only thing you need to remember is the usual stuff of connecting power, belts, and pipes. That's it. So not sort of some magical thing of, oh, you need to also seed it in order to get it going. I kind of want to avoid that. What that means is I need to figure out a way, and this is exposing the absolutely atrocious implementation of liquids in this game. Sorry to be so blunt, but it is absolutely disgusting. Disgustingly awful. Doing this is kind of just emphasizing how bad it is, which is like the worst thing you'd want to do. If you have a bad implementation of something, you really don't want to draw attention to it. And this is what they do. They draw attention to how bad it is by doing this. And I think that's a mistake. Maybe just me. Because now we're going to struggle with the liquids in a way that we really shouldn't have to. Right, so what I've done now is I have kind of built a pattern that we know works. Good. Kind of works. Kind of works. I mean, yeah. So this is outputting water going out here. It's splitting in, getting half of what we need in here and half of what we need in here. So that's all good. However, I'm going to need to supplement it with water inbound, and we can do that in a couple of different ways. This one. Really? Like that. That looks good. So, previously, generally, oh, okay, let's, how do we say it? If the whole thing is working and you feed it from the top, then it will not jam. However, if the whole thing is not working and stalls for a little bit, which is possible since we have a manifold, then the last one can stall, and especially in the beginning, then this here will accidentally fill up the entire pipe, and that means you won't be able to exit anything out of here because it comes in from there. So what we need to do is make sure that it can't fill up the whole pipe, and we do that by putting some here and here. These are valves. So this valve is not going to be constrained. It just means sure that this little fragment here is always going to be empty and always ready to receive 7.6, which is more than the 6 coming out here, so that whenever this one completes, it can always put into this one. And then the idea should be that whatever comes between these two here is also going to work. And this one, I will just constrain it to 28.8. That's the water that comes in, so that it doesn't overfill this one so easily. Yeah, that's how it goes. And then from here, we are going to see what is this one requires. Oh, this is the non-fissile coming out. Let's actually do all the other liquids as well. This is going to be, let's see, I'm going to build that out. Oh, yeah. This is nitrogen, because this is the nitric acid. And over here we have nothing else coming out here, but sulfuric acid is coming in. Let's see, how do we do this in a nice way? I guess we do this way. Because now this is the actual acids coming in. That's the sulfuric acid and nitric acid coming in. So that's pretty simple. This one has no other outputs. This one has no other outputs. This one has 2 other inputs, the uranium cells. So we're done with liquids for now. I'm going to get one inbound. I'm going to go another inbound. Inbound here. Then we're going to get the inbound for the iron. That's going to be iron ingots coming in. And that will go over on this side. And yes, I should be making everything as Mark 5s instead of Mark 6s, because you might not have Mark 6s at the time you want to craft this. There. And the only thing remaining is now the final output, the non-fissile. Comes out here. And I get you. There. Alright, and then it needs to get inbounds and outbounds. So what do we have? We have iron inbound, we have the 2, we have 3 inbounds and 1 outbound. So we're going to start as usual. That one. And that one. Those will be the 2. This is the final outbound, so that's going to be here. These 2, you know what? I think I'll actually put those out here. I think that makes a lot more sense. Where do we want to put them? I don't know. Anywhere is good. I guess we measure it like this. And then it's gonna be like this, and then you have to remember to take this out, otherwise they do not connect. There. Yeah, that makes sense. And the final output is, or input is the iron plates that comes from here. Oh, do I want to get that down all the way to the ground? Yeah, I guess I can do that. Yeah, and that goes out in here, and you're going back to the start. Oops. This is the return. Honestly, these kind of things, we've done that before. So this is now a matter of just having it. There's nothing going to be magical about this. It's not going to be difficult. So we can just zoom forward and get all the power lines, the signs, and the belts and the pipes done. Here it is, a slight change, of course, and I forgot the sulfur for the sulfuric acid. That's kind of important. So that comes in at the ground level, and then the iron comes in at second level, which means it also goes above the pipes, which is perfect. And we then have the fissile and non-fissile uranium coming backwards. And we have over here the two other locations. That is good. And then we have water coming in, which is not going to be a lot of water. It's only 28.8, so 30 times then 5 modules, so it's 150, so not really a big deal. And then we have the nitrogen, which I'm bringing in on this belt from the location we have over here, which was already used a little bit for the bus, but now it can be I've overclocked it, and that means we have plenty. It goes up to 1950, where it's fully overclocked, and I was pulling one pipe back to the bus, and now I'm pulling another pipe over here, so still plenty remaining. So this one's done, and it is happily there. We're going to be putting here, and I'm going to just go in here, just get that, and then make sure that we save it. There, so it's saved. Perfect. Now, that is the first part. We need to load. Yeah. So, now the next part is going to be these 3 items. So, it now needs to figure out how to do that in a meaningful way. And, I guess we start with the big one. Let's put that smack dab in the middle and just try to figure out. So, I need to have room on this side for an assembler. So, let's just move it as far over as we can, like that maybe. Seems about right. And then get it also a little bit closer to our side. I think that's too close. This is probably fine. Good. And then we're going to get the assembler, which will make the actual plutonium rods. It's going to come out on, I don't know, something like this. Let's see. I don't know, maybe it's going to be here. Maybe it'll be, just pull it back. Yeah, let's pull it back a little bit so that it's easier to see. It's so weird that these ones are not adjusted to the middle, but hey, that's kind of how it is. And over on this side, I'm just going to make like a simple inbound. Let's make that here. So you're going to go in here. And again, mark 5 belts. And we can go down here and get copy paste. Copy, we're just assuming that this is going to be how it is. There, paste it, good. This one, copy, and paste. And then what was this? This was the aluminum casing, which is only 12.8. So this allo casing and 12.8. Good, so that is easy. All right, everything is now done. This one is just 2 solids inbound, and the other one is the non-fissile uranium. Oops, that's incorrect. Damn. There. And over here. Copy this. That's the aluminum inbound. Over here we have encased industrial beams, which is coming from this side. Oops. There. And the other one is going to come here. And it's going to go back out there. Wow, this is going to be super easy. Here, inbound, and this one outbound. That's it. That is it. So how many items? That is 1, 2, 3 inputs and 1 output, and no liquids at all. Ooh, nice. So that's easy to make. We're gonna have some in here, and then something out on that side. Maybe these two go on one, and these two go on the other one. Seems about right. And now this one is done and ready to implement. So we're going to be taking this, clear it, and remove it. So we now have our 2 designs. I can just go crazy with removing things. It always takes a little bit of time, but I want to do this design work together so that we can see, you can get a sense of it, what it is, instead of just stamping down a blueprint that you might not understand why it looks like this, or might not agree with it, and there might be some mistakes as well. I'm going to actually snap it to a blueprint. Look at that. And then rotate it until we see the signs facing towards us. They do. That one, that's the fuel rod one. And we just head down here and then see which one we're going to run out of. It's always quartz. And again, we rotate until it looks the same. This one, yeah. The reason why this snaps correctly is because it's not actually snapping to the previous blueprint, it's snapping to the blueprint on the ground, which is why it works. And that's not it, is it? That's it. Yes. Yeah. That one, and the final one of these. Got it. And then we go over and build the next part. And let's just see. Yes, they are pointing the same way. Then I am going to get the other blueprint. That's the other plutonium cell. That is going to be up here. And then we rotate until we get the signs heading towards us. There are no signs. There are the signs. Good. Go. And lo and behold, it's quartz crystals. Right. So what we're going to do is usual is that we are going to go in here. Take these modules, we are going to connect them. We are going to connect power. We are going to connect belts. I'll go on the side. There. And we want to connect pipes. Not like that. Wow, not like that either. And there. And then we want to color the pipes, of course. And once we've done that, then we can stamp down the rest of this, and well, then the next thing is actually getting things inbound. So we'll leave this a little bit because we know what we need. We don't know anything. We don't know anything about where things are coming in, because that's kind of important for us to know. So we're going to continue on this one here. That one, come on, missing quartz crystals. Yeah, so we need 2 more, and it takes a little bit of quartz, but you can see how quick the quartz crystals. I did some update not long ago to get this one done, and let's see, that is good. And then the final one here for quartz crystals, we can start looking at what we get inbound here. So here we have silica. That's not a problem. We got that right there. We got the waste. We got that right here. That's good. We are going to get sulfur. That's fine. We got that right there. Then we have iron ingots. We do not have it. This is the output, so that's what it's produced. So, and water, we just get it from below ground. And nitrogen, we get that here. So the only thing we're missing is actually iron ingots for the first one. That's good. And the last input here. Let's see if it fits. It fits. Great. So we need 1 iron input, iron ingot, and we need over for this one. Come on, hook it up. That's the non-fissile uranium coming from here to here. And then we got aluminum ingots, and we got the compression cubes. So that means we are going to need to get 3 more things inbound for this location. And we're going to bring it in with drones. So we use our drone port for nuclear here. And I'm going to get it out of that. And then we turn it right. Turn around. And something like this. Let's see. That is inline. So that's going to be 1. Switching to blueprint mode. 2. and 3. So we get our rocket fuel in here, and this one will be called iron ingots, nuclear power, iron ingot, like that. This one is going to be nuclear power, aluminium ingot, there. And the final one is going to be nuclear power, conversion cube. It's a pressure conversion cube. Whatever. Companion cube. That's the true name of it. We know that. Companion cube. There we go. So these will just need to be set in. So we got everything actually. Just need some water from below. We need to hook up the belts. We need to figure out how these go in here. And then we should be ready to start it. So here we are. Beautiful night. And everything is probably working. Probably working. We got things inbound. We got the companion cubes. We got the alu. And we got the iron ingots inbound. And one thing that's also important to look at is... can I click these? No, I can't. But I can do this. And then I have isolated this network so that you can see that it is producing exactly 90,000 megawatt of power. Very, very smoothly. But it also, there's a lot of people who've been asking me, like, how much power does it actually take to build all this? Like, is it net positive? Yes, of course it's net positive, but it's also like non-trivial amount of power that it takes to actually get this. So it's not really something you build when you're out of power, because it's going to take a lot of power. And this is not even including the production. This is just like the logistics and these modules, and they're not even working. So we got the 90,000 megawatt of power, plus we have our and our waste out here, and then we can now start working on getting things inbound. So we got our waste. Let's hook it up and just hope that the whole thing works. There's always something. And this is the outbound, and then the water pipe. Oh, please work, by the way. Is it working? Yes, it's working. And these will just need some colors. And let's do that by doing this way. Here and here. Inbound. Inbound. That's interesting. And this is then the final outbound. The fuel rod outbound. So let's go back and trace it. It's going to take a long time before these are available. So let's have a look. It runs in here. And we don't have any water coming in. Ha 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 ha. Really? Really, really? Okay, it is getting in there. And I'm pretty sure I have a pump down there. That should be enough pressure to get up here. I think it's just the fact that it takes a while to get going here. This one? Oh, right. It's because the max flow rate is set so low that it can only push at 28.8. I know why is not pushing at a constant rate. So anyway, it pushes in at 28.8, which means this is going to take forever to get started. Hey, we got a little bit of nitrogen gas. We are coming up close, and there is the water. So this will not be enough water to keep these two flowing until I start getting the residual water coming back out here. So we get a little bit of the nitric acid. Nitric acid or nitric acid? I don't know. It's probably both correct and both incorrect. So this will just need to go, and this is not started working yet because we're still missing a little bit of the sulfuric acid. So it's a slow starter, but we'll get it. It will eventually get it, but this should prevent it from actually overflowing. So we get the first non-fissile uranium, and we're going to be monitoring the water loop first, because the water loop is what I'm most worried about. This one is slowly filling up, and it's just barely able to keep up with this one. Well, actually, it's actually quite able to keep up. This is working. So let's get the 96 avant or 20 avant. There we go. And the water comes out quickly. It goes in here. And then it gets sort of emptied out. And this needs to be emptied out before the next iteration is done. You can see that. Whoop, there we go. It goes out. It goes in here. And then it just gets consumed and gets moved out over to the other part. Great. So that works. We're getting the non-fissile uranium inbound, and the non-fissile uranium is going here. It takes a lot to this one to get started. Once this one goes, and it's on 120 cycle second, and it goes in here for another 120 second cycle, which will be scaled down to, I don't know, 93 minutes. So we're going to be hooking up the last pipes or belts here, and then I'm just going to be waiting for it to actually go out, and then we get the first nuclear power, or uranium power, or no, sorry, plutonium power. Let's see how that goes. And the first one is finally being crafted, and there we go. It is now coming out. And we should monitor this one. Yay! 1 plutonium fuel rod is coming in. It goes into our splitter. This one is making sure that 1/3 goes in and 2/3 moves on. Oh, it happens to go into the first one. Is it gonna go? It keeps going downwards. Go, 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 go. Okay, it wants to go all the way to the end. Still all the way to the end. Alright, so it goes into the final one, and it goes up there. Let's go up and see it. I have removed the last build segment here, because otherwise it'll have a tendency to put plutonium fuel there. Yay, we got fuel. Yay, it's working. 2,500 here. Now, these have not been scaled up. Why have they not been scaled up? Well, they have not been scaled up because if I do, then we're going to consume everything, and then I won't have time to actually build up reserves. So I'm going to set this up at a lower burn rate than usual, so than it's designed for, so that I can allow it to accumulate some rods. So this build over here is producing enough plutonium fuel rods over time to support 32 power plants. But I'm only having 15 because I'm having to overscale them. So I will overscale them later on. Oh, this one is also started now. Because I got the second one, and we can then see the total here. So what I need to do is I need to wait a long time until we have built enough so that each one of these have a little bit going, and at that point I can scale it up. I want to make sure that all of them are saturated in the sense that they have at least a few fuel segments first, and once they have that, then we can just scale it up and see the final production value of this. Some time has passed now, and we have actually stabilized everything. I hope. It seems like it, at least. And we still have this one still burning. It's basically, at this point, the amount of waste being produced is exactly the same as the amount of waste being consumed. So whatever we have in the repository here will never go away, because, yeah, unless I start turning these off for a while, the uranium fuel burners, because... yeah, I don't know. It's fine. I actually like this to be fully saturated. Then I know that all this plutonium fuel plant is working exactly as it should. So as we go over here, we can then see that things are working. And the most important thing is actually when we go in here and we take a look at these locations. Let's make sure that the last one is also working, because those will be the ones here. Just take that one. And we see 170,000 megawatt of power. That's a lot, but it's also very interesting here. It's about 10,000 megawatt of power that's being used for production. So this is also a nice benchmark. You're using 10 gigawatt of power to produce 170 gigawatt of power. And 170 gigawatt of power is a non-trivial amount. And it's still, remember, it all comes from 300 uranium. So 300 uranium goes into that, becomes 36 power plants, and becomes 32 power plants from the plutonium. So the only thing remaining is now to take the plutonium waste that we're now generating quite a significant amount of, and then convert that into fixonium, which will be in the third and final stage of the nuclear power plant tutorial here. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to build something similar, the save game is of course available to patron supporters, and also the designs all the designs are also available to patron supporters. We're making a little bit down here. You can see the uranium, the plutonium. Actually, they should be swapped. Oh no. Here. The nuclear power plant, the water for the nuclear power plant, and then uranium, and then the 2 for plutonium. So we're going to make the 2 for fixonium, and then that will be the end of all of the blueprints that we need, and that means you can actually do everything in the game with the blueprints here. So that's pretty cool. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you are enjoying it. If you are, be sure to hit the like button and let me know in the comment section if you find some mistakes, some errors, or good ideas, bad ideas, and then we'll be continuing with Timberborn and then into Factorial with the coverage once we're done with Satisfactory. Until then, take care and stay effective.